The Russians are unable to capture Bakhmut as a result. Drones destroy Russians. The Russians are close to capturing Bakhmut and need to cut off Ukrainian supply lines to break their resistance. The area around the Road of Life is particularly dangerous, with significant equipment destruction including a truck with ammunition, a Humvee, and a damaged Ukrainian tank. Fierce battles are ongoing for control of these crucial supply areas, resulting in numerous shell craters. The soldiers stationed here are considered heroes, but the high-intensity fighting leads to casualties on both sides. During the Russian assault on a Ukrainian position, the Russians initiate artillery shelling before attacking. The Ukrainian soldiers seek shelter in a trench to survive the bombardment and prevent the enemy from gaining control of their positions. However, the trench is partially destroyed by a shell hit, resulting in 2 Ukrainian casualties. A soldier starts to retreat, and another Russian shell explodes nearby, causing injuries from the blast. As a Russian IFV, Infantry Fighting Vehicle, reaches the Ukrainian positions, they are met with a surprise. The Ukrainian forces manage to stop the armored vehicle initially and then destroy it with the help of a Ukrainian tank. The video captures mobile vehicles, like dirt bikes and ATVs, being used in quick attacks during the conflict. A moment of interest is cut off in the video. One scene shows Russians on an ATV equipped with an ATGM, anti-tank guided missile, aiming to destroy a Ukrainian stronghold. They fire 3 missiles at the Ukrainian forces' positions before completing their mission and leaving. Drones are highlighted as playing a significant role in the battles for these positions, while Russian tanks are frequently targeted and destroyed by Javelin and other ATGMs from specific directions. In the open fields with no cover for armored vehicles, a Russian tank moves out to support their infantry but gets targeted and destroyed by a Ukrainian Javelin missile. Despite this, the Russians continue to add grills to their tanks. Another Russian T-90M tank is also hit by an ATGM missile from Ukrainian positions, preventing it from reaching the Ukrainian lines. The Ukrainians don't just hold back. They frequently launch small and unexpected counterattacks, showcasing their defensive strategy. Ukrainian soldiers execute a successful attack on a Russian dugout by throwing an explosive inside, resulting in the destruction of the Russian forces. The Russians' attempts to entrench themselves often lead to similar defeats. Another Russian's grenade attempt fails, and he gets eliminated in return. If the Russians manage to establish a position, they deploy anti-tank weapons. Ukrainian reconnaissance spots a Russian ATGM, and the Russians notice a drone, reacting rudely. The drone retaliates by delivering a grenade that destroys the dugout and the ATGM. This disrupts the Russians' capability to interfere with Ukrainian armored vehicles. After successful Ukrainian counterattacks, Russian trenches resemble mass graves as their bodies remain unclaimed. The grim reality of war is depicted with dirt, blood, and death. A Ukrainian tank, guided by a drone, effectively halts a Russian assault, but the video ends with an unexplained event, seeking input from viewers in the comment section. Russian tanks and IFVs are seen burning together after another attack. A Ukrainian Javelin missile hits an armored vehicle, causing the crew to flee, and a second missile finishes it off. In a separate skirmish, 2 Ukrainian soldiers approach a location where a Russian soldier is seated, and his comrade lies dead. The Russians resort to using backpack charges when unable to dislodge from cover. A Ukrainian soldier drops a charge and flees, leading to a massive explosion. Despite the danger, the soldiers are ordered to meet the approaching Russian forces. A Ukrainian soldier engages a Russian with gunfire, prompting the Russian to throw a grenade. The Ukrainian quickly reacts, saving his comrades from the threat. After eliminating the immediate threat, The Ukrainian group takes defensive positions as the Russians approach from multiple directions. The Ukrainians coordinate to control all three directions and stabilize the situation. The commander orders a reload and sets up a circular defense. Aerial reconnaissance is continuously requested for updates amidst intense shell explosions and casualties. The soldiers seek shelter in a dugout to avoid artillery fire and reload their weapons. The video ends, showing that on that day, the Ukrainians managed to withstand the Russian onslaught and artillery attacks. The narrator highlights the sacrifices the Ukrainian people make for freedom and independence. The tense situation will persist until the city is occupied by either side, but launching a counter-offensive could possibly help the Ukrainians hold the city. The viewers are encouraged to express their interest in further content creation, and an important report is teased.